Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Grove podcast. And what an episode we have for you guys tonight. In front of a live studio audience, I am joined by none other than Tabs.
Good evening.
And Whale.
Good day, fine sirs, and what a good day it is.
What a good day indeed. Before we start and talk about that performance, that result, I just want to tell you guys a little bit more about who we are, and what we stand for. We are the Grove, a group of around 60 plus fans from all over the world who meet up before games, who talk every minute of every day, and who share the most common interest, the one true love in our lives, Arsenal Football Club. We get so much feedback from you guys, and I just wanted to read out one comment from someone who helped facilitate the Forest away tickets last week. So this was his comment. Hi mate, just wanted to say I hope you enjoyed the Forest game. I listened to your podcast whilst in the office. First podcast I've ever listened to by match-going fans, and funnily enough, it made most sense. That just eclipses who we are, and I just wanted to say on behalf of everyone, not just the three of us listening, and the studio audience that are watching me right now, and I feel quite awkward, a massive thank you. Please keep liking, sharing, commenting, and supporting. But without further ado, Whale, coming to you for your highlight, your low light, today's game.
Yeah, appreciate that, Moss. Well, I'll just keep it simple. Highlight was just how aggressive we were. Like, we're playing at home, but we took it to them. I liked the lineup, and I liked how aggressive we were. As far as the low light, it's probably the same. Everybody saw it right before the half. Disappointing that goal we gave up. That's the low light for me. Other than that, super excited, super pleased, still buzzing off of that win. 3 points. Send it over to you, Tabs.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Moz. And in terms of my highlight, there's the obvious stuff, but actually it was just at the end, and often the DJ's spot on with his choice of music, and playing Voulez-Vous at the end when it came on, that was fantastic. And I wasn't too sure whether to sing the ABBA lyrics or the Saka lyrics, but that was fun. But also I wanted to point out another highlight that was great. That was a bit more nuanced. Was just it was so visible how much effort the players put in today, and there was a couple of moments where the players during the game and at the end of the game were just prostrate on the floor. I think there was one where Havertz had chased back, because Kivior was up front from a header, and he once he got back and the ball went out, he was like, trying to catch his breath. Like Gabriel went down in the middle and White went down as well, and so they were all just trying to catch their breath. And then at the end you could see 2 or 3 players again going down, so it was brilliant to see that they'd put so much effort in, and it actually the result meant so much to them today. So that was superb. In terms of a highlight, and this is courtesy of my son Gianluca, so shout out to him, who was going to join us today, but he's got school tomorrow, so he's had to go home. Just our throw-ins. God, can we not take a throw-in? Like Trossard foul throw, Ben White taking forever. It just seems to be a perennial problem. Like this year, last year, throw-ins just It's just I'd rather give the ball to them and then we get it back off. Back it off them after they throw it than us having throw-ins. But those are my highlights and lowlights of the game.
For me, my biggest highlight was the fact that we played so well in the middle of the park with Jorginho and Rice were just unbelievable today. There was one moment in the game where it looked like Jota was on the attack. Out of nowhere, Rice came from like almost right back position into the midfield and won the ball back with such effortless swagger, shall we say. It was brilliant. I was so impressed. Low light for me was before the match even kicked off, before a ball was even kicked, Gabriel Jesus being out again. That, I know in the end it didn't matter, and Kai Havertz came in up top, but Gabriel Jesus again injured. It seems like a knee problem. It seems like there's some fluid around his knee that we're struggling to deal with, which is a little bit of a downer. It does make the atmosphere around the stadium quite nervy, I felt, before the game when you hear news like that from the team. But overall, so much more positive than negative for me. And just kind of thinking if that was a good result or a fair result, I do agree. I think it was. I think we deserved to win that game. I think 3-1 was an accurate scoreline for the chances we had, the chances Liverpool had. The first half, we blew them out the water, apart from that one silly mistake at the very end. Second half, first 10 minutes, I think it was typical from Arsenal and Liverpool. They're going to come out all guns blazing, and we didn't really know how to handle them. But as soon as we found a rhythm again in the second half, we were absolutely fine. So yeah, I think it was a really good result, a fair result. What about you, Tabs?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So in terms of reaction, it's, a lot is going to be dealt with emotion and just sort of, you're not going to remember all the details and stuff. So a lot is I was trying to take some notes during the game, but I also wanted to enjoy myself. So yeah, no, absolutely. It was the right result. I think, Liverpool, and we did that typical thing, didn't we? Liverpool scored and they didn't even have a shot on target. It was going sideways and it ricocheted off Gabriel. But it was fair. So we were dominant. We were the ones who were being aggressive. Liverpool did well. They were pressing up high and they were trying to sort of shut us down. But we were the one that at least creating chances. There was the Saka header, which should have scored. It came off sideways instead of forward. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a game of huge amount of chances, huge amount of, chances that we should have taken, but we were definitely the better team and definitely the ones on top. And you're right. I think, Moz, you said that first 10 minutes, I think we were still getting over the first 10 minutes of the second half. We were still had that equaliser in our heads, the way it happened and the timing and the amount of effort we'd put in that first half to go in 1-1. So it was always going to be a bit of a hangover from that. But luckily, it was only 10 minutes. Well,
Yeah. Few things. I mean, to be fair, I agree with pretty much most of the stuff he said. What I'd like to touch on first, what Mars was talking about, that play with Rice, because that I saw that and made a note during the game. That was around the 8-minute mark, when that ball went out. So I believe it was Jota. And then Rice comes in with a nice, like a little sliding tackle to break up the play. That just sort of set the tone. So from the first 10 minutes, we're like, hey, we're not here to mess around, you guys. If you're going to get anything, you're going to earn it. Secondly, personally, I'm not into this deserve to win. We played the team that scores the most points wins the game. So yeah, we played better than Liverpool this game, and it turned out that we ended up with more points than them. So I'm happy that we won the game. But for me, if there is no deserving to win the game, you either get more points or you don't. So that's that point. I'm happy that we got more points this. Um, just really happy. I think Raya played a really good game. He wasn't really challenged that many times, but I said it before and I'll say it again. Like the saves that he was making, he was catching the ball. I want my keeper to come on and catch the ball. I don't want him punching it back into play and he's out of position and then there's a goal scored. Like a goal scored. Like catches it, he throws it out, he starts the break, and then we're out. And we had shots on goals from that. And people finally start to see right now what Arteta was seeing from the beginning with Raya. Like Ramsdale isn't bad, but Raya does something. He offers something different that Ramsdale doesn't, in my opinion.
I think Ramsdale's the best number 2 in the league, but I agree with you wholeheartedly. Today, watching David Raya play and just how assured he looks and how confident he looks and how composed he is as well on the ball, fans almost poo their pants, right? When we see them passing at the back and across the lines. But Raya just looks so natural at doing that. So I agree. I think I finally see sense, and I'm a massive Aaron Ramsdale lover, but I finally see sense in why we have stuck and signed David Raya. So I agree.
Coming back to your point about Arteta, I think, and I made a note of it, I think the reason why he was so angry is that, again, and I agree, deserve means nothing. Whoever scores more goals and football, the person who deserves to win doesn't always win. It's just okay. But I think he was angry because we switched off. We were so focused, so good, and then literally 1 minute to go, and I don't know, I had an eerie feeling it was like that 1 minute, the last one, the way it just came out, an eerie feeling something's going to happen, and I think that's why he was so angry, because you concentrate until the whistle goes. Don't assume that, okay, so it's going to be a clearance and we'll get rid of it. No. And I think that would be, to the point about him being angry. That's why he was angry. But maybe I think we were always going to let in a goal. So maybe it was actually the good time to do it. They get in at half time. You can have a chat, reset. So actually, I didn't think we were going to keep a clean sheet. absolutely not. So actually, if you're going to let in a goal, maybe then it's a draw, so at least we're not going down, reset, come back out, which we did, and then again the dominance continued. So it might not be a bad thing. Who knows?
You must be happy though, Tabs, because last week or last episode we asked for predictions, and I said 1-0, but today this morning on the way down on the flight I changed my prediction to 3-1. No one on the podcast will believe me. I can come with receipts. I had screenshots of the WhatsApp conversations where I said 3-1, and there's a couple of people in this live studio audience that will agree with me as well. But Tabs, you did say 3-1, 3-2. You said we have to score 3 goals to win. You were right. Well, I believe you said 2-1.
I did.
So you weren't far off. I bet when that third goal went in, you were gutted.
So I'm proud that we made the last 10 minutes nice and comfy. No, I can't believe it. That was the.
I could see Whale from the other side of the stadium looking for a VAR check. He made the diagram with his fingers.
Let's go to Stockdale Park.
In terms of team selection, I briefly touched upon obviously the lack of Gabriel Jesus, and we've mentioned and we spoke at length about Thomas Partey not being involved. It didn't make a difference at the end of the day, but I was really happy with really happy with team selection, but I just wanted to touch on the subs that Arteta made. I mean, in our biggest game of the season, with 10, 15 minutes to go, bringing on Reece Nelson for Bukayo Saka takes a lot of cojones, right? And I was really impressed with that. I want to know the thinking behind it. I also want to know the thinking behind bringing Zinchenko off. I don't know if you guys know if he was carrying a knock or if he was injured. He was obviously playing the side where I was in the first half. I didn't really notice anything untoward. But the subs, I mean, Nelson was good, but Trossard, Gabriel, I think they really made a difference. I really do.
No, I agree. And on the Zinchenko thing, actually, I noticed he just wasn't his normal self today. Whether that's because he was told to play a bit more defensively, but he wasn't taking up that normal quarterback position.
He was giving up goals.
Yeah, well, he wasn't giving up goals, which is good, but but he's also a proactive player. But so I don't know, maybe he just didn't seem you didn't see him inverting as much as you used to. Didn't see him coming in. I didn't notice it. Well, I noticed that he wasn't doing it. So I'd sense there may be an injury there for half-time Kiwior, because it's not like he was getting done by whoever's done his side, by Trent or anything like that. So that is strange. But yeah, I agree with you. So bringing Kiwior on, bold, given the game, given the circumstance, bringing on Nelson again, was that because of an injury? So was it necessary as opposed to tactical, or Saka was knackered? And then what was the other one? Trossard for Martinelli. Again, I think Martinelli had run himself into the ground. So I think, and actually turned out to be the right decision. I think he wanted a bit more control. He could see the way the game was going. It was getting spread out. Trossard brings that element of control there. So that's where I was with the subs. I know in terms of starting 11, Whale, how did you think? Were you?
Yeah, when I saw the lineup, so last night, the rounds going around on Twitter is Jesus going to start or not? Is he available? So, I mean, obviously I wanted to start. When I found out he wasn't starting, I was like, oh, well, he's obviously hurt. Okay, Havertz, here's your shot. So I was happy with the lineup. I think that what happened today shows a little bit of growth with Arteta, because I mean, it can't just be me, but from last year and even the beginning of this year, like one of Arteta's main issues, in my opinion, was his substitutions. Just being so hard-headed and being like, no, this is my guys, and this is what we're doing. And he's shown in the last few games that he's willing to take a challenge. He's willing to pull somebody off. In respect to Saka, he had to been hurt, because we know how Arteta feels about Saka. Back out with every game, all of it. So he had to say, hey, boss, I'm hurting. With Nelly, I think it was a really good change-up, because Nelly is great on that break when Raya's throwing it out to him, and Nelly's great taking somebody on. But I feel that is a little better with taking somebody on and getting a shot off. Like what the pros say, his back leg or whatever. He doesn't need much for him to get a shot off. and that's what we like about him. He's a small guy, he's compact, and he's hard to deal with. Um, yeah, I'm just really happy about today, guys.
I didn't mean to laugh when you said that Leo part. I just didn't expect it from you. I was looking down at my notes and I just didn't expect it from you. It caught me by surprise. So I'm sorry if you heard me laugh.
What was interesting about the starting lineup? One, I'm so pleased he went for Havertz over Eddie. That was totally the right choice, which was clear today. The way Havertz, I think, even if he didn't score, I think it was up there with his best performance. Akin to what he did at City at the Charity Shield, that sort of thing. So really pleased for that. But it was interesting taking Jesus out. Then obviously meant Havertz went one forward. And that means Jorginho came in, which I don't think it would have happened had Jesus played. Then Havertz would have been playing in the 8, Nelly, etc. And again, these things happen. These things happen. But and then Jorginho comes in, and what a game! Oh my god, that was just a masterclass of playing in that position. And I was watching him, and he was pointing, he was directing, he was telling people, he was like Odegaard on heat behind him.
Quarterback out there.
Yeah. It was just coordinating everything, and it was what a. And I thought, oh my god, he's gonna have to come off after 60 minutes because he doesn't know, but he stayed the distance, and you didn't see any fatigue in him, and he just managed it brilliant, and getting in tackles, getting it. And I just loved that performance. So, if I was going to, there were a lot of man of the match performances out there. I quite like seeing I quite like the unsung hero types. So for me, he would have been. Rice was obviously more obvious and out there, and I let someone else come in and Rice. But I think Jorginho's role and the way he played in and to come in, man of the match for me, I would suggest.
Yeah, Jorginho and Rice, like I said earlier on, unbelievable performances. What's interesting is I think we completely. I'm sure I said this in the last episode about Liverpool's midfield. Was it the last episode? Or
we mentioned it. Yeah,
I think I mentioned about the fact that I wasn't worried about Liverpool's midfield, and I think that my point was proven today. So, Mikel Arteta, if you're listening to this podcast, I have a question: could I become a coach? Because I seen this happening. Liverpool. I just want to briefly touch on Liverpool because I feel like we need to speak about them and their lack of oomph today. Their midfield was non-existent. We overran them. Even Zinchenko, when he was on in the first half, had Trent Alexander-Arnold on toast. Trent had a couple of chances to whip the ball in, but they were straight at David Raya. Whether that was because of David Raya's good positioning or Trent's poor crossing, I really think that Liverpool were shocking today. It told a massive story when Jurgen Klopp brought on 3 subs at the same time. He was going all out for the win. And I just think without Salah, they are one-dimensional. They don't have that out that they can play with. So, yeah, for me, Liverpool today, just if that's Liverpool, I don't watch Liverpool games often, but if that's a Liverpool performance and that's their level, I don't understand how they're top of the league. Well,
yeah, let's not forget that their best player and arguably the best player in the league right now wasn't playing. So I look at Liverpool and I go, yeah, I completely agree with everything that you just said. But like Salah wasn't playing. He makes such a difference on that team, even with their weak midfield. He's a handful for anybody. One thing that I didn't say a lot episode, and looking at this particular game, who we haven't spoken about today is Odegaard. I'll be honest with you, the last couple of games haven't been thrilled with him. And if I had somebody replace him, I would have sat him down a little bit because I just think that I think he just needed a bit of a break. But this game didn't do anything outstanding. Nothing that's going to make the highlight reels, but just played really well in my opinion. I mean, there was it's like in the 52nd, 53rd minute, had a nice little shot on goal. I think that's the first shot on goal in the last 2-3 games. Like we need more of that. We need him to be a threat. Because they're all looking to pick a pass now, but he can't pick a pass out. The guys are making runs. So the fact that Saka's back to his normal self, Nelly's doing what he does, we've got Leo doing his thing. I think things are starting to click when they need to be clicking really. We've got a decent little schedule coming up now. Teams I think we should beat. Be fair with you, we can get these points rolling. I mean, we've got obviously City tomorrow night. We'll see what happens then. But I'm again get to keep the theme right, and I'm really happy with our position right
Yeah, on Odegaard, yeah, I was watching him as well. He's just he leads the press. He's all there. He goes out there, arms wide. So come bring in Saka, bring him out. He's all there, and his engine for someone who's meant to be like a high skill player. You know, someone who's looking for that pass or shooting, whatever. The energy he puts in, and he does the hard yards. He does the graft, and he's leading from the front, which is great as a captain should. So then it brings in other players to do that. So no, I love his performance today as well. Yeah, little things, not outstanding, etc. But you know, he sets the example and then lets everyone else. But also he was the one that beautiful pass to Havertz for the goal that Saka scored. So that was, you know, landing that eye. It was the first time pass over the top. Beautiful. So yeah, he mixes the, you know, silk and steel or whatever it is.
Yeah. Just very quickly, I've just had a notification pop up from Arsenal that the Premier League Player of the Match was Jorginho. He got voted the Premier League Player of the Match, and the fans' Player of the Match was Bukayo Saka, which is quite interesting.
That is interesting. No, he had a good game. I thought I would have thought Nelly had a better game. Rice, you know, someone here talk about Rice. Well, I'm sure got to think, you know, had a yeah, it's like I maybe just fan favorite type stuff.
Well, yeah, it's not on the Arsenal Twitter poll. It was just came up on my phone. I must say the crowd are behaving very well. We've got some opinions and they're all doing very well. So it's really nice.
I must stop this getting things right. It's a strange feeling.
That's not even. Whether I just started something, I don't even know. What are we talking about? Speaking of crowds, though, one thing I can't say, Emirates, loudest I've heard it this year. Loudest I've heard it this year, man. Like Apple Watch came up, 100 decibels. If this keeps up, you're going to go deaf. I didn't even know what to do. It was, great atmosphere today.
I think you and I both said in the chat that was the best atmosphere I've ever heard at the Emirates Stadium in my life. I've been to the Bournemouth 3-2. I've been to the City game this season when Martinelli scored that deflected goal off Nick Back's head, right? Which was
our face.
Oh, that's so funny. I've been to, God, there's been so many games.
Man United, 3-1, yeah.
And you, even last season, the season before the United game, Spurs, you know, North London derbies, and here we are, Liverpool. And I sat down in my seat. I was row 2, block 12, sat down in my seat. North London Forever played, and I thought, geez, this is loud. This is, electric. Wherever you looked, wherever you focused on your hearing.
East End, West End, North, Carragher, the whole place. There were scarves being thrown around. Like where was I? I was in East End, block 113, normally a quieter sort of area. Man, people were standing up, yelling. Wow, yeah. It was.
And that was just to you, Will, right?
Sit down, shut up.
No, honestly, that atmosphere was, I can't stop thinking about it. And I was one of those guys that just had my phone videoing some chants and various parts, but just looking back on it, it was just so loud and unbelievable. And I think it's to do with the connection of the players and the fans. I think training at the Emirates the night before the game really helped the players connect with the fans more. I think the players, as soon as they came out, they knew how big an occasion this was. If we get the 3 points today, we're 2 points behind Liverpool. Game on, right? Andrea, I don't know if you felt the same about the atmosphere.
Yeah, no. Clock end was buzzing, so that was great. You know, you could sense the beginning of the second half. You know, again, we were under that pressure bit. We were, you know, still recovering from that goal and all the rest of it. So yes, there was. You always feel it's on a bit of a knife edge. So yes, it's brilliant when everyone's happy and stuff. It just feels, I don't know how quickly the frustrations would come in, but I think we dealt with it quite well. I think the fact that, to my point about the effort, I think the fact that we were trying so hard and trying to do the right things and the way we're playing, and we know we're playing Liverpool. So I even think even if we went 2-1 down, I think it would be just annoyance at the scoreline, but not at the team. So I think we would have recovered as opposed to, because they said we could see it as a performance. So if the performance is there, the fans can take the results, I think, more than just, and also we're getting over the scars of Christmas as well. So, we beat Forest, we're, we're winning against Liverpool and stuff like that. So I think we can just gradually say, okay, put that to one side. We can see progress. We can see a way through this.
Just like to get some wins under our belt.
Yeah.
What's interesting is I'm just kind of seeing live reactions that comes through on Twitter. This podcast is being recorded pretty much straight after the game in London live, as you guys all know. Whilst I talk about that, just please quickly click the like button, the share button, the follow button. Share this pod to all your friends. What a pod it is. What a result. A tweet from Red Action Gooners. The blame is always made clear when the atmosphere is no good. What do we put it down to when the atmosphere is great? It was absolutely banging in there today. Home advantage personified. Just shows you the ballot, the season ticket, all this discussion we've had. It's not blame. It's about the fans in the day making that noise, waving their scarves, being loud and proud. I even chanted Red Army today outside the stadium. I was exercising my demons, shall we say. I was with Tom and I chanted it and I actually got replies back today, Wales. So
it's not Palace. It's not Palace. I mean,
Yeah. That's a big goal. But I mean, also we do have, I mean, we are sort of known for that. Almost the fans come out for the big games, sometimes to the detriment, of, oh, it's just Palace. Oh, it's just Bournemouth. Oh, it's just Burnley. But, for the big teams, we come out. That's something else we need to change. But as far as tonight goes, I'll take it every day of the week.
Mikel Arteta in his post-match press conference has just said that with Gabi Jesus, he expects it to be days. And with Zinchenko, we don't know because he had some feeling in his calf again and we had to take him off. So that could be a wait and see. And with regards to Bukayo Saka, he said he should be fine. I think he got a kick, on the ankle or the back of his foot, but he should be fine. So it's looking good on the injury front. I know that, we're meant to be talking about the amazing result, the amazing performance, but just in terms of the feel-good factor in the club, I mentioned in one of the first this podcast, if we win the next few games, really crack on and build a winning run. The other thing we have to think about is Julian Timber's coming back. Thomas Partey, we hope, is coming back. Zinchenko, if it's not serious. Rice, obviously, we were worried about the hammy. Big Gabby, we were worried about that. All that stuff.
Got Tommy coming back.
Yeah.
It just seems like we're turning a corner and it's like a volcano. It's bubbling under the surface and I just feel we're going to explode.
But yeah, and this is the right time. There's no point in doing it in November, October, and etc. This is when the winning season starts. This is when it really matters. You've got to be in contention now. Again, you can lose it then in the early part of the season, but you can't win it. So stay in contention, 2 or 3 points behind. Doesn't matter. Let someone else take the glory. Let them all talk about Klopp. Let them all talk about Liverpool. They're top of the league. Look at how they're playing. Let's just stay under the radar, do our thing, get the W's in. I'm all for that.
And the reason why we got the W today was because of 3 very nice goals. I just want to touch on them. So an idea? Why don't I just discuss the first one, Tabs, the Martinelli one, and Whale, the Trossard one? Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah, sure.
So when I seen Havertz running down the middle of that pitch, and I thought to myself of all the YouTube compilations that I've seen of Kai Havertz at Leverkusen and how he would just score those types of goals for fun. And then he missed. And I put my head down, my head in my hands. I looked up again, and there you go. My saviour, Bukayo Saka, the ball at his feet, taps it in for a goal. It was just one of those things where it tells a story, right? Kai Havertz's start to his Arsenal career has kind of been like that. He's got himself into those positions, but he hasn't been able to finish. Whereas Bukayo Saka's on the other end of that spectrum. Everything's just easy for him. Everything has been easy because of the type of player he is, world class, right? So, yeah, I mean, pretty standard goal. Pass was unbelievable. Havertz did well to get into that position anyway in the first place. I thought, would Eddie have done it? Would Jesus have done it? I don't know. But the fact that Havertz was in that position in the first place and the fact that Saka was there was brilliant. And that goal just cemented what a great start to the game we had. Tab, Martinelli's goal.
And just back to the first goal, you got to think also Alisson is like the number one one-on-one shot stopper in the league, in the world. and he makes himself look big. And I saw the goal from different angles, and I was like, oh no, actually, it wasn't as easy. No, he should have scored. Anyway, but as you said, we got the goal. But
Can I just say, number one shot stopper, but as Will will mention, I'm sure, one-on-one.
it's so good 1-on-1.
But as Will will mention, I'm sure he doesn't close his legs when he's getting shots faced.
Yeah. In terms of the second goal, it made me laugh. It was hilarious, and I wrote a note. Whatever we can do, Liverpool can do better. So there were, we messed up for their equaliser, but my God, Virgil van Dijk and Alisson coming. You could still see Alisson. He should have just cleared the ball, and Van Dijk said that I don't care. Instead, he's got hesitated, and then Van Dijk hesitated, and good anticipation by Martinelli. I mean, it was actually a lot of what we did today. We did some of the intricate stuff, and I think in the first half we were trying to maneuver, and we did lots of nice passing out in the middle, but not in and around the box. It was to get ourselves out of situations to go forward. This was more, actually, we switched it up a bit. This was more long ball stuff, turn the defenders. Defenders hate getting turned, and look what happened. Defender hate getting turned. It's in that sweet spot. Oh, goalkeeper, do I come out? Defender, what do I do? And then Martinelli had to put it away, and to me, I don't get how they come. We get the goal, but again, I think our play deserved it, but it wasn't exactly the most creative of goals. But hey, I'll take it. It was very funny.
Will?
Yeah, I mean, you sort of touched on it, man. I mean, Leo's goal is not going to make any top 10s, but I'll take it. Like when it goes in the back of the net, I'm super happy, especially at that point of the game where it puts things out of reach. I mean, it's typical sort of Leo. He's sprinting down the side. Van Dijk was a second too late. He gets a shot off. If that goal goes in against us, I'm furious because I feel the keeper should make that save. Like it's near post between your legs. Come on, man, you're world class. Make that save. But hey, you didn't, and I'll take that goal and I'll take that win. On to the next game.
I think it took a little deflection. I'd have to say, did it take a deflection? No, I don't know. But
I think it took a deflection under Alisson's leg.
But it was what I said last time with Jesus' goal. They're taught to, if they see the gap there, they're taught to go through it. So
yeah, and the keeper's taught to save it.
I guess. But I think this is where the sending off of Konate helped us because there was no extra defender to come in. So therefore, so had Konate been on the pitch, that space would not have been in there. But also, because I don't think Leo had any other options. He had to take the shot, and maybe the goalkeeper's expecting it there, so he's set for a position of the ball going far post. Therefore, his legs have to be wider apart, so he ties to it. So therefore, you go, you know what, you've left a big gap, go for it. So yeah, I mean, all our goals had an element of luck to it, but if you don't buy a ticket, you go.
What is really interesting about the Leo goal is from where I was sitting, Kai Havertz. I'm not digging him out or anything. I think he was good today. I just, again, I look to the fact that he's at a different stage of his Arsenal journey and his Arsenal career than others. He had 2 chances. I don't know if you guys remember this. He had 2 chances where he was in similar positions and didn't shoot. It was almost like he shot or attempted to shoot 1 second after he should have. There was 2 chances, and a couple of the guys behind me were furious that he just didn't shoot. He kind of dilly-dallied on the ball. I think one of them was checked for a penalty.
Yeah, what happened there? I couldn't work out.
From where I was standing, it didn't look like a penalty. You know, I'm the most biased Arsenal fan, right? If the wind blows over a player in the box, that to me is a penalty. It should be a penalty. However, that one, it was not. It was a coming together. It was the Liverpool defender did well to defend. And if that had been the other way around and that was a penalty to Liverpool, we would have been angry, very angry. Just more reaction coming in. I like the live reaction to Jamie Carragher. So Jamie Carragher really setting it folk, but
We're all very
crowds and all that.
This is him. So Martin Odegaard was pictured at the end of the game taking photos of Stuart McFarlane, the club photographer, as opposed to the other way around. And Jamie Carragher says, just get down the tunnel. You've won the game. It's 3 points. You've been brilliant. You're back in the title race. Just get down the tunnel.
Just win something. How about that?
He speaks a lot for someone who's never won the Premier League. But I just find it so funny. Another quote from Jurgen Klopp just coming in as well. A lot of things were against us today. The referee gave me a red card against Man City for wrestling situation between Bernardo Silva, that is, and Mo Salah. Today, the same situation with Jota, but didn't get a red card. It's unbelievable. Then the holding of Havertz on Kanate for the first yellow card. Then Havertz goes down and the referee gives Kanate a yellow card. Gabriel does the same to Nunez, no yellow card. It just seems like Liverpool are complaining about VAR and the referees a little bit, doesn't it?
A little bit. Just retire already.
On the McFarlane and Odegaard thing, no one knows the background behind that. They might have had a bit of joke beforehand. You know, what's the fun police? So basically, win 3 points, right? What, you can't enjoy it? Why suck the enjoyment out of games? You know, we're not claiming we're in the league. We're enjoying the moment. It's a special moment. They make that as something, or the rest. Odegaard might have just been cheeky. You know, hey, let me take a photo of you because he did the speech for the Tottenham game was a couple of seasons ago. But he has no context to that. So what's he to comment? And I also, Odegaard walks around, claps all sides, and he was just finishing just jokes.
I don't even think it's as deep as that.
Yeah, it's not even like massively in your face. He's just, hey, me and the Arsenal staff are having some fun. Good. It's good that they want that interaction, and it's good that the fans see that. So we see we're one team, not just the players and the managers. It's all the other stuff involved in this. I haven't seen the incidents in detail, so cannot comment. It's just that you've lost. You could be a bit bitter. It's an instant emotional reaction. All managers say it. Whatever. It's just the way it is. But I know I didn't anything clear. I don't know. I don't know if you saw it. Maybe your higher up position.
Here's what I can say. I don't like Carragher at all. I don't think he should be any color commentary. He's completely biased. He's just talking just to talk. I got no time for him, especially after the spitting incident. I don't even know how Scott can even employ a guy like that. So whatever he says is just garbage. It doesn't matter to me.
But in terms of the Klopp stuff, did you see the incidents he was talking about the Havertz yellow card or the Kanate yellow cards and the jostling?
What it's like that was like you talk about his second yellow,
yeah,
because that was deserved. Literally, that was what we call a professional foul. Yeah. Like Harris is on the run if he gets that, so he took him out. Now that's fine if you don't already have your first yellow. He took a professional foul. Like that's.
And the first yellow, I don't remember the
first yellow is a little aggressive in my opinion, but I mean, I like it when refs actually do yellow cards. They tell his players, hey, you just can't do whatever you want in this game. I am reffing this game.
Apart from Ben White, but that was such a nonsense yellow card I'm sure Diaz also was in front of him when he was trying to take a free kick.
He was, and I was just about to say that, but just on the Kanate one. I think the referee gave Kanate a yellow card because the crowd were really getting on his back, and I'm assuming that must have potentially influenced it a little bit. There was a few incidents, and I don't want to make this podcast about the refereeing controversies in games because we could be here all night, and you guys have families to get home to, right? But in terms of Anthony Taylor's performance today, I wasn't impressed at all. It was like ways in the game where at some points he would favour Arsenal and some points he would favour Liverpool. There were some tackles and there was like little things. The ball wasn't out of play. I'm block 12, row 2, so I'm right on the corner flag in the North Bank, right? There were some parts where the ball was clearly out and the linesman just didn't do anything. It was just little things like that really add to the crowd's frustration. And I think it boiled over. I do think all the bookings apart from Ben White's was justified. Ben White and Tabs, as you said, Luis Diaz was not 10 yards away from Ben White. And I don't think we took that long to take I think Ben White was waiting for Luis Diaz to move. And I thought it was Luis Diaz getting booked. What's funny is Ben White got booked for time wasting, and then literally 10 seconds later, Anthony Taylor's mic stopped working and he started wasting time. Aaron Ramsdale apparently got booked from the bench because he mouthed to or said to Anthony Taylor, how did they F up?
But no, I think the Ben White hit Anthony Taylor warned him, I think, because of the throw-in. The last throw-in he took before his booking, you could see him talking to Ben White and say, right, they didn't do it again. So, but okay, fair enough. He warns him. So the next round, but that free kick, you're right, did. And also, it's 30 minutes in. We're 1-0 up.
Just be consistent. Be consistent.
Yeah, but we're not time wasting. You're not time wasting at one. Right, if you're worried about it at the end because that you've got that it to you, he's not there to waste.
This is what happens when you have a sport that it's willy-nilly as far as timings go. Like somebody gets on the side, it's not just like, oh, everybody gets 5 seconds. It's, oh, okay, the ref gives you 7 seconds. Oh, and the next one, the ref gives this guy 9 seconds because it's okay. Like there is no, it drives me crazy.
Yeah, I guess if you said, right, you've got 10 seconds to take the throw in, and if you don't, then and then it reverses. Yeah.
It's consistency. It's a lack of consistency. Because, we all played FIFA as kids, right? And the little clock on the top right came up when the goalie had the ball. It was like 6 and then 5. But that doesn't happen in real life anymore. It just doesn't. Yeah, but let's move on from that because look, we could be here all night talking about Ben White's yellow card adventures. Yeah, I mean, what a performance! Just to sum it up, and I have had the biggest smile on my face since that full-time whistle. From start to finish, I just think we played the perfect game. I really do. If we can continue this form into the next 3-4 games, I really think we'll be in a strong position. Man City still have to play Liverpool at the start of March, so that's coming up very soon in a month's time. Obviously, we have to go and play against City as well. But I really think we are in a strong position to. We're back in the title race now, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely. To be honest, I never thought we were out of it. No, I mean, for me, it was a big game performance. We needed to deliver this. This is, it was funny, the chat, everyone was nervous before the game, but these are the games we want to be in. We've been watching from the outside for too long. And so we had a big game performance, okay, apart from one cock up, and we get punished, as always. And it took a while to get over the equaliser, but we were dominant, we were aggressive, we were energetic. We created chances. We had different styles of play. We were a danger throughout. So for me, that just sums up the whole game. And we had some real stellar performances from Rice, from Havertz, Jorginho, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli. Raya as well, alluding to. So so we're in it again. We some luck. We stay fit. I'm saying too. Yeah, we've got as much chances as anyone else. So yeah, loved it. As I said, absolutely loved it. Great performance. Let's keep going.
And Will, do you reckon our next 3 games we're in a better position now, and we will still be there or thereabouts after playing West Ham away, Burnley away, and Newcastle at home? Do you think those 3 are doable?
Oh, I reckon that we should get 3 points out of each one of those games. West Ham, especially after just watching them play against United today, I expect 3 points against West Ham. Burnley, I expect 3 points. Then we got our Champions League game, which I think will just be a run of form. We're going to play really well. And then it's Newcastle. And Newcastle is, they're hot and cold, man. You don't know what team you're going to get with them, but I like our chances against anybody, man. We just beat Liverpool. We beat City. Like we really shouldn't be afraid to play anybody.
I really, really enjoyed recording this episode with you guys. I don't know if anyone has any final little bits to say. You're both shaking your head. Thank you to our studio audience as well today. We will try to make this a regular occurrence and try to get as many people together and have a really nice discussion and record the pod. Thank you so much for listening. We really hope you guys have enjoyed it. Our next episode will be released on Friday. I'll look ahead to the West Ham game. But before that, all I need to say to you guys is soak it in, text all your Liverpool supporting mates, and come on, you Gooners. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Thank you. See you next time.